We don't even understand freedom anymore. We are a country that is headed towards socialism, totalitarianism, beyond your wildest imagination. I have to tell you, I'm doing a story tonight that I wanted to debunk these FEMA camps. I'm tired of hearing. You know about them?
Sure.
I'm tired of hearing. I wanted to debunk them. Well, we've now for several days done research on them. I can't debunk them. And we're going to carry the story tonight.
I don't know anything about him. So
it is our government. If you trust our government, it's fine. If you have any kind of fear that we might be headed towards a totalitarian state, look out, buckle up. There's something going on in our country that is ain't good.
All right, something else you're going to talk about coming up next.
I know. I'm wondering if
Gretchen,
I'm going to
do not get off the couch. Stay above the table.
Gretchen.
What?
Name the monster in the dark and have no fear. There are more of us than there are of them. We just have to be honest and open about it.
After a very long night of tossing and turning, if you watch Fox and Friends this morning or listen to my radio show, I told you that I was going to tell you about the FEMA camps or the FEMA prisons today. This is something that I snapped on the air because somebody called me up and said, why don't you talk about the FEMA prisons? And I said, can we just settle the FEMA prison thing? I don't believe in the FEMA prison.
Well, we've now for several days done research on them. I can't debunk them.
I don't believe in the FEMA prison. If you don't know, I'll tell you about it in a couple of days. I was going to talk about it today, but as I came in and did the show this morning, and then I went into my office and I was looking at all the research that had been compiled, and it wasn't complete. And I am not willing to bring something to you that's half-baked. If these things exist, that's bad, and we will cover it. If they don't exist, it's irresponsible to not debunk this story. We have an independent group on this program looking into it, turning over every stone. I am going to bring you this story. This program is not beholden. This is going to drive the conspiracy theorists crazy. Let me out. I have this. They're making me say this. Help. This program is not beholden to anybody. We answer to ourselves. I answer to me. I lost sleep last night worrying about this story, thinking about this story, and wanting to make sure that I got it right. The only thing that I answer to is myself, and I just want to be able to look at myself in the mirror and also sleep at night.
One is a camp that we have photographic evidence of in Wyoming.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
This comes up on a number of websites, and there's some satellite imagery showing various buildings and identifying them as a prison camp somewhere in Wyoming.
May I just ask, Jim? Is it true that this is a prison camp? It is a concentration camp where most likely horrors are going on.
That is absolutely true. And as you often see in conspiracy theories, there is a grain of truth to this. But they left out one detail. The prison camp is not in Wyoming. It's in North Korea. And the pictures were...
Okay, all right. Stop, Megs. Stop with your spin. Is it true that there are horrors going on in this camp, most likely? It is run by the government, and it is a concentration camp.
It's all true.
It's all true. It's all true. Okay, North Korea, Wyoming. They got one thing wrong, but the rest is true.
Well, yesterday we talked about debunking conspiracy theories, or that's what I'd have you believe, including internet myths about FEMA camps. With me again is James Meggs. He is the editor-in-chief, Popular Mechanics, who did an incredible job writing the definitive debunking of the 9/11 conspiracy theories, and he's here. Now, last we left our episode, I bring up the picture of, where is this, Wyoming? Bring up the picture of Wyoming that I left with yesterday. There it is. Look at that. It's a FEMA camp. And I asked Jim, yes or no, is that a concentration camp?
And in fact, it is.
Is it, yes or no, sir, run by the government?
Apparently so.
Okay. Are there atrocities that we know of going on right now in that concentration camp?
There's every reason to think so.
Okay. So here's where it all falls apart. Wyoming, huh?
Well, there's one detail that the conspiracy theorists leave out. Those are satellite images of a concentration camp in North Korea.
Could we put side by side, please? There's the Wyoming, put side by side. There's the actual picture, right? And here they are side by side.
All right, cut the clip for a second. Hit pause. All right, people. All right, first of all, he's smiling and snickering the entire time. Like it's funny that we put people in camps in this world. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, a whole family in North Korea over there. I mean, they are working to the bone, and really, I don't think they're going to survive much longer. That's hilarious.
Talks about what this concentration camp is, and what is it? Is Koyohaso?
Right, and it's this is a part of a report done by a human rights group that's focused on human rights violations in North Korea. Somebody went in and pulled these photos off their website, slapped a Department of Homeland Security logo on it, and claimed that these are on American soil.
Okay, show me the pictures of, I think this is Camp Grayling. Do we have the picture of the watchtowers? This is pretty spooky. This is where Americans are currently being held, I believe they're saying.
Well, people say all kinds of things, and these pictures have been floating around the internet for more than 10 years.
Okay.
In fact, Camp Grayling is the largest National Guard training facility in the U.S. They train Army, Navy, Marines, and one of the groups they train is military police. And in fact, one of the functions they train them for is handling prisoners of war in a battle zone like Iraq.
Okay.
So that's what that facility is intended for.
All right, so James, here's what I...
All right, let's stop it for another second. Again, we know that the National Guard needs training facilities. We're aware. We never, in any of these documents, said that Grayling was a FEMA center. Ever, 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 ever.
Because I don't think we should set out in anything to debunk it or to prove it right. We should prove the truth.
Wanted to debunk them. Well, we've now for several days done research on them. I can't debunk them.
If they don't exist, it's irresponsible to not debunk this story. Because I don't think we should set out in anything to debunk it or to prove it right. This program is not beholden to anybody. We answer to ourselves. I answer to me. FEMA prison camps. And I said to my producer, I said, can we just please debunk this or prove it to be accurate? Claiming that somehow or another I believe in these conspiracy theories, even though I said on the air a million times I don't, and I've said that for years.
We are a country that is headed towards socialism, totalitarianism, beyond your wildest imagination. I have to tell
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster? Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked.
Would agree that it would be prudent to have a plan to provide for the continuity of government and the rule of law in case of a devastating terrorist attack or natural disaster. A plan that would provide for the cooperation, the coordination, and continued functioning of all three branches of the government. The Bush administration tells us, they said, don't worry, there's a detailed classified version. But now they've denied the entire Homeland Security Committee of the United States House of Representatives access to their so-called detailed plan to provide for continuity of government. They say, trust us. Trust us, the people who brought us Katrina, to be competent in face of a disaster. Trust us, the people who brought us warrantless wiretapping and other excesses eroding our civil liberties. Trust us,